Game, to say the least.
Yeah, a long game, tough to play against a full-time side. For what did it end up being?
110.
Wow, so it's a long game, and physically, that's probably the only frustration. You lose Joel Taylor, just out of fatigue. So really, really pleased. But I thought we were good value. Thought we were good value for a 2-goal win and a clean sheet. So very, very pleased. And look, it's been a terrific week for the football club to have gone and won at Hartlepool United, big, massive club, to have gone and won 2-0 there in the FA Cup, to have played. They'll win the league. They'll win the league, Scunthorpe. Whether they go on a run next week onwards or in 3 weeks' time, they'll win the league. There's no debate about that. And us and a couple of other sides, we have to say we got some points. So it's 3 Brucey bonus points. So yeah, the Cap's a really good week. It means in the last 6 games we've got our points target, and maybe we're starting to hit some momentum. So big congratulations to the players. Delighted for the club, delighted for the supporters, and yeah, it makes for a nice Saturday evening. 2
clinical finishes.
Yeah, thought we created some good opportunities. Charlie's done what Charlie's done, gone around a goalkeeper. We talked about our pressing structure work today, and you could be very, very tempted to name an unchanged side from the Hartlepool game. It's going to be a different type of challenge, and we wanted to set a pressing trap, and I thought we did that. When the ball goes backwards, you can see he's world class for his endeavour, and that's not like a daft comment. He is. You can't match that. I think he took it really well, and then what a brilliant moment it was for Elliot Whitehouse to get that goal. So. But I thought we were good value. Tom Pearce was excellent when he came on, deserved it. It had everything bar the finishes run. Adam Thomas has one blocked, and then the unsung hero week in, week out, George Glendon, had one blocked. So I thought, like I say, we were good value for it against an excellent team, a massive club. Good to see a really big away following, and it felt like a proper game of football, didn't it, with a really good crowd on. So very, very pleased, but we've not been good enough away from home. We're going into back-to-back aways, so we need to make sure that attentions turn quicker than normal to Tuesday night, because we're going to be the walking wounded. But I'm fed up with these journeys home on the road where we haven't put points on, and that needs to start sooner rather than later if we want to be where we want to be. Let's make sure it does on Tuesday.
What's the extent of Charlie Caton's injury?
Look, you know what, I'd never mean to be rude when I never want to give. I don't think it's fair to talk about individual players often and injuries, and that isn't. I think people think it's about the opposition and keep people guessing. It's not. I just don't think it's fair. It's not fair in any other profession. At times I've had to. Cole Hall was brilliant for us playing for such a long period with an injury where he's had to have surgery, and I think that culminated. It was one of the Tuesday night fixtures, probably the Hereford game, where physically he couldn't do what he wanted to do. We've got it with Kieran Coates at the moment. As much as I'm the big baddie for not playing Kieran Coates at times, we've had to manage Kieran for a lot of last season with a tendon issue in his knee. That's why Jamie Morgan played a lot of games for us last season. This year we got to a scenario where we're not able to use him for consecutive days, so we were looking after him on a Friday. But you start to panic when you've got one player in those positions, so we brought Tom Sparrow in. I thought we did really, really well to manage Kieran Coates, to get his minutes right, the way that he comes on at Nantwich and contributes, comes on at Peterborough Sports. Play last week, gets a different type of injury in and around his knee, we lose him. It's tough, but so I don't really want to get too wrapped up in this player's got that problem, this player's got that problem, because I think it's like an endless commentary. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I understand it's always going to be a question that people ask. I don't mean to be rude, but I've always tried to keep that to myself and let me get the stick. So when I leave out an injured player, I'm the worst person in the world. That's fine. So let's see. Charlie Caton might play on Tuesday, or he might not play on Tuesday. I'll let you know after the game on Tuesday.
One player or one person that probably won't be involved on Tuesday is referee Mr Davis, 11 and a half minutes. Sad that he suffered an injury for obvious reasons, but there seemed to be a lot of discussion on the line about is there anybody in the crowd, etc, etc, etc. And come on to be linesman. What exactly was going on?
And they have loads of staff and we don't, so I kept turning around and there were different people to talk to, and at one point I found myself in Scunthorpe's team talk and their assistant saying 2 touch, 3 touch passing, and I'm going, yeah lads, don't do that, take loads of touches, yeah, just give it away. It was a bit chaotic. Look, we were contacted by the National League, I can't remember, it was about the substitutes and should there be 7 subs at this level, and managers and officials at clubs were canvassed for their opinion, and sort of any other comments were sort of asked for. Anything else, this level of football needs 4th officials, because you can't enforce the rules that have changed and all the game management stuff. You can't do it. So my body language when I'm shouting at liners, you can't hear me here. We've got 2,600 people on, and I'm bellowing at that just to try and make a sub it, and your body language doesn't look great, and all the stuff we were advised on, it's about the image of the game. When we had a 4th official at Hartlepool, well, last week you're able to have the conversation, and I think today illustrates it for communication with the benches, with the crowd, but also you need someone who's able to go on. So hope they're all right. Our physio sort of stepped in. He was hurt. I didn't see what happened.
It looked like his back as he was.
Yeah, it was his
walking.
back, and it's sore, and then it's always a story when someone goes on. I feel for the players there, because like you say, they've played for a long time. For us against a full-time side, we've got to play again on Tuesday, and that's really tough. So it was chaotic, not something I've been involved in before, but it can't take away from what was an excellent victory. But I always put the caveat on there of we've turned our home form around from last season, put a real emphasis. What we're not going to allow is the pendulum to swing where we're only going to be picking our points up at home. The way last year, I think we picked the lion's share up away really significantly. No, we want some balance. So really focused on the Southport game, really focused on the Curzon game, and then obviously we have a little break from league action. We won't play at home in the league now until Buxton on the 14th, but obviously the FA Cup and stuff like that. So really want to enjoy what's been a brilliant week for the football club, but well aware we need to improve on the road, we need to try something different, and we've got to start doing that on Tuesday.